Hello again. If my presumption perhaps, about the glass that I shared in the first video might be worth considering further, I then thought, along with John and Mary, what would happen if we looked at those pieces then in their context and within the context of the Creed and the windows here at Llanteglos. Well, here is the first of those statements positioned alongside the bay, and you'll see here that those three surviving pieces would fit ideally within that context. John, of course, number 4 is missing, but if he had survived, could he have gone into this particular space? Then if we go down to the next bay, following the same kind of logic, the two surviving pieces would fit perfectly above. The third bay, of course, none of the 4 disciples survives. But if it had followed the pattern, they would. The only bit that might survive, of course, is that little piece that could be the tip of the club of St. Jude Thaddeus. Possible food for thought there, or maybe far too out on a limb to consider. So, but then what about the first bay? And so far we haven't talked about those spiritual fathers who appear in 2 of the other glass pieces. But here in the first bay, we have those pieces. Here they are, our 2 sets of characters, Salome and Solomon, and Joachim and Joanna. And those 2 pieces, once again, would fit very nicely up here. We also have this rather small fragment that remains of the bottom of a gown. Could this have fitted into the appropriate place up there? Leaving the question of what would have been in that first panel. And that all hinges on how we interpret these characters themselves. It being the Lady Chapel, could there well have been a portrait of Our Lady here? Or would it be yet another biblical pair of characters? I'd very much value your thoughts on that.